I'm Corbett Wall with DB Auction, here with your feeder flash for Monday, June the 21st, brought to you in part by Joplin Regional Stockyards. About 5,000 head expected for the regular feeder cattle sale here on Monday. Are going to be having that big value-added special this Thursday, the 24th, expecting around 7,000 head of mostly program calves, all value-added, vaccinated, weaned. There'll be a few in there that aren't, but for the most part it'll be long strings of more uniform, more black calves that's been through some type of a preconditioning program. Don't forget about the Big Bang Primetime Livestock video that's happening on July the 1st. You need to get your cattle consigned this week, guys. So don't forget about that. If you want to get those marketed on that big video out there at Quapaw Casino and downstream, you need to get it done. You need to get them contacted this week, get some video on them, get them wrote up, and get them cataloged. Summertime, and we're officially in the summertime now, and I know most of us have had plenty of heat already, and it's felt like summer for quite a while, especially in the areas that are suffering through the worst of the drought. And it's still in the Dakotas, guys, and places in eastern Montana and around. It's really, really bad. You know, I was looking at Fort Pierre livestock there in Fort Pierre, South Dakota. They had 8,500 head of feeder cattle on Friday, and then around 1,500 head of weigh-ups on Saturday, which, you know, is huge on your weigh-up cows. But they had 5 buyers there. Most of the cows, they said, brought between $70 and $80, so you couldn't call that a fire sale. And they had some really nice drought-out calves that came to town in a thin condition, and some cattle that people had put together to turn out for the summer. They turned them out for just a little while and didn't get any rain, and they had to go ahead and sell them, but they were in a condition where they sold really well, so couldn't really call it a fire sale, I wouldn't say. I mean, they came because of it, but sold on a really good market. I was looking at the website from Rugby, North Dakota, Rugby Livestock up in North Dakota there. Still horrible drought there, and they've got a listing of drought resources on their website. And for you guys that are in the area, I encourage you to get on there and look for different issues with water testing, you know, trying to find some feed or having feed tested due to nitrate levels there, or some financial assistance there. But some of those guys are really suffering up there in that part of the country. Now, we had some cooler temperatures and a little bit of moisture throughout the Midwest. Some storms too, and some of those might have done some damage. I hadn't heard too much about the hail and if it got much of the grain out there in the crops, but you know, that's how come they said that we had such a volatile grain market this past week. 40-cent down the limit, locked down on corn for a year on all your contracts for the next year. That's more than just a weather market, guys. It's got a lot to do with Fed talking about raising rates at some point within the next year or so. You know, talking about that might strengthen our dollar, and you think, well, that's good if it strengthens the dollar. It's good if it strengthens the dollar, but it's bad for exports. And we've exported a world of our grain already this year, and that's why our stocks are so down, and that's how come we've got such a handsome price on your corn for the most part, and somewhat to the beans too. But they were just swinging wildly. I mean, and nobody's that good on the weather market. So you know, when you're going one way and then the other, it has a lot to do with your computer algorithms on that stuff, because you know, once it gets to going one way quite a bit, well, then those automatic orders kick in, and they'll suck it one way and then the other. It makes for a lot of volatility on there. What are we going to talk about this week? Pretty much all I'm going to be focused on here the middle part of the week is the Senate Ag Committee hearing that we're going to have on Wednesday at 2:30 Eastern. I talked about it late last week about they've got a list of the people that are going to get on there and testify. They've got my buddy Justin Tupper with the U.S. Cattlemen's Association. He's really going to be the only one that's trying to get some of these things that we've been fighting for the last 2 years. Minimum mandated negotiated cash trade. I say he's going to be the only one. He's going to be the only one on this side of the bench. Now you get on the other side, you on that Senate Ag Committee, you've got Deb Fisher, you've got Charles Grassley, you've got John Thune, who said he's ready to get something done. Cindy Hyde-Smith from Mississippi, she knows what's going on. She's a market owner's wife there. She knows exactly what's going on. And I've got some good friends that can pick up the phone and call her anytime they want to. They've got her filled in on the deal. Joni Ernst, I believe she probably knows enough there, and being in Iowa, she's going to be able to know what's going on. And Tina Smith has signed on some of these bills. So I think, we're all right on the side of the bench that's going to be listening to the testimony. Sure wish they'd have picked some folks other than just Justin that actually want to get something done rather than just continue to kick the can down the road. When you got guys that are benefiting handsomely from the way things are right now, whether they're loaning big corporate feeders millions and billions of dollars and making their living that way, or whether they're they're they've got stock in U.S. premium beef or something, and they're basically a pack or two. They've been reaping all those rewards. It's just whether you're academia and you're getting likely checkoff dollars to do some testing and things like that, or if you're wanting to do some kind of experiment or whatever you're looking at. We've got one man that runs a sale barn, been in the cattle business all of his life, got a passion for it. I mean, absolute passion for keeping the smaller producers and keeping as many players in the game as he can. We got one guy over there that's going to do it. I think he's going to knock it out of the park. And I'm thinking that Charles Grassley and some of them are going to lob him in there to him. And I guarantee if they do that, he will rear back and he will hit some grand slams. So I can't wait to watch that. Looking a lot forward to it. And that's going to be on Wednesday at 2:30 Eastern. Let's talk about your futures market for last week in your cattle arena. June live cattle futures. Monday was up 67. Tuesday up $1.85. Wednesday up $1.07. Thursday things turned different. Of course, on feeder cattle benefited from the grains being down so hard. But they were still down a little bit because all your commodities down. But live cattle, they took a pretty good hit there on Thursday, down $2.20. Friday was back up 95, and it just seems like if you get a real sharp loss or gain, the next day it goes right back the other way, and that should give a clue to you day traders, a way to pick up some quick change right there. How about June live cattle futures? They ended the week at 121.05. Up $2.35 for the week. August ended the week at 121.55, up 153. August feeder cattle, they were mostly higher, but they were fairly volatile as well. Monday, August feeders, and then that, you know how important that contract is to us. So many cattle priced and hedged off that. Monday feeder cattle in August up 342. Man, that started the week out big. Tuesday up another 222. Wednesday up 87, Thursday down 30, even though the grains are sharply lower. It was just a tough day for commodities. And then Friday, they sucked $2.37 off your August feeder cattle, and they ended the week at 155.02, up $3.85 for the week. September ended at 157.22, up $3.70. Now, I've talked a lot about your grains. Corn. Your old crop July ended the week after being so topsy-turvy, ended up with July contract, Chicago Board of Trade corn, old crop, $6.55 1/4, down 29 1/4 cents. And that's, it was down the limit, 40 cents there on Thursday, but it was just so volatile. December, new crop corn, $5.66 1/4 to end the week, down 43.5 cents. Beans, they were down pretty hard. July beans, $13.96 for the old crop, down $1.12 if you were trading in beans or even using them as a hedge, they have gotten so volatile, and those limits are up there so much. You know, nearly $1.20 there on Thursday that they fell. That's enough to put somebody that's in pretty good standing completely out of business. And I don't know what you know, the CME group is thinking, getting these daily limit moves so large. You know, I guess it's fun for them if they get a lot of people in there trading around on it, but it's enough to completely bankrupt somebody. And you know, I heard several guys that took it in the shorts hard in the past week or two. You know, and from the point where they're in business till they're out. November new crop beans 13.13 down $1.2575. Why the hell do they even trade them in quarters of a cent if you're going to let them move dollars a day? How about your fat cattle trade through Thursday, your negotiated trade area, your 5-area feeding region last week? 65,300, which is a little disappointing compared to the 81,600 last week or the previous week, and 95,000 same week a year ago. But your live sales, the range of price through the week on live steers and heifers was $2 to $4 higher, from 120 to 125. The weighted average through Thursday on live steers was 122.85. That was up around $3 for the week. Your dress sales $4 to $8 higher. Dress sales ranging from $1.92 to $2 a pound. $2 a pound dressed as a market, guys. That's what it was at the end of the week. With dress steers through Thursday for the week, averaging $195.54, and that was up about $5 for the week. Friday we had just a little bit of trade. Iowa about 1,400 head and 16,600 head for the week. Live sales on Friday 124, dressed, like I said, $2 a pound. Nebraska only about 400 head on Friday, almost 21,000 for the week, $124 there live price, and that's your markets, 124 and $2 in the northern feedlot areas. In the southern feedlot areas, it's 122. Kansas had about 100 head sales on Friday, 22,700 head for the week, but just some kind of off-quality cattle there selling late in the week. Texas, 300 head, 7,400 heads all for the week, and they need at least you know, 10,000 in there to even be try to find some kind of a price discovery. But 122 was the price. Did have some cattle in the lower grading at 120. Colorado, it was all you know, filtered through. We couldn't, confidentiality didn't allow us to see anything out of Colorado. That's one of the things that Cattle Market Transparency Act is going to address if we can get something done with this Senate Ag Committee hearing. How about your box beef cutout values? Down pretty hard. First time for a long time. Down pretty hard. Of course, they're still sky high. But choice cuts 329.72. That was down 861 for the week, and it was a lot lower than that at the end of the week, 323 and some change about what it was. So it's tumbling down seasonally as we've gotten through the demand for your early summer holidays and up through 4th of July with the ordering has to be done early, and then it's going to hit a lull there until we kind of get into the later part of the summer for Labor Day and things. But select 290.250 was the weighted average for all of last week's trades, down $15.26 from the weighted average of the previous week. And at the end of the week, your select cuts were only trading at about 284, so down pretty hard. But we did move some. I had better movement than we had while they were jacking it up. Of course, you know, the packers set that price. They're finally getting resistance. They can't get it moved at that level. So they got some moved this week, albeit at lower prices. 554 loads of cuts, grinds, and trimmings. Your slaughter. We thought we were going gangbusters early in the week, and then we kept adjusting it down when they get the officials, you know, the next day. And by the end of the week, 663,000 for the week, with only a 69,000 head Saturday. We were hoping for better than that. The 663,000 head harvested was 2,000 less than the previous week, 17,000 more than the same week a year ago. What else is going on? later on this week, if you guys down in Central to South Texas there are members of Independent Cattlemen's Group of Texas, I'm going to be going down and speaking, being both on a panel and doing the keynote speak for that conference, and that's going to be in San Marcos, Texas on Thursday and Friday, so I hope to see several of you down there. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index on DV auction late in the week ended at 142.42. That was up $4.24 compared to the end of the previous week. And indeed, your cash feeders in your sale barns were sharply higher, $4 to $8 for the most part. There were spots up to $10 higher, like the heifers and El Reno, but 4 to 8 covered most everything. Gained some good ground in there. We're kind of seeing some optimism out there, guys, and it's mostly on the supply side. We're not sure how we're going to get enough leverage to get the market up, and but you know, if we could get some of these things going that we're talking about in DC, if we could get some satisfaction there, maybe that would help even more. But you know, looking at your sales, they're mid to late week. And I'm talking about El Reno for the most part because they had such a good sale there. Through the ring there, you know, a lot of those 8-weight steers weighing right around 800 head, 800 pounds smooth, in larger bunches, of course, bringing right around $150. So that's your mark on that 800-pound steer. 9 weights about 140. But we did see the start of your big videos this past week. Your Corn Belt Classic found some Flint Hill steers on there that they've sold for late July delivery when they come off the double stock pastures, and they've got 900-pound steers right in there close to 150. So that's what guys are going to be asking for their steers with a base weight of 900 pounds coming off the Flint Hills and the Osage is $150. We'll just see which side they trade on. Most of those will sell private treaty. I've got some contacts out there, and without divulging too much information, I hope that they'll kind of let me know when things start coming along and they start selling a lot of those, and I'll pass that information on to you. How about some of your better sale barn sales late in the week there? Fort Scott, Kansas, on Saturday, Fort Scott Livestock Market, they had nearly 1,800 feeders on there. A really good sale there on Saturday at Fort Scott. Look at this market report out of Fort Scott, Kansas there. This is an automated report from Cattle Market Central. You can see the best tested weights was your big yearling feeder steers right there. 452 head of the 8-weight steers averaged 864 at 139.33. 489 head of the 9-weights averaged 954 at 139.34. Actually a penny, 100 better than what your 8-weights did, and most of it was because they had a long string of cattle weighing in the middle 9s there, bring 143.10. That'd be plenty good. But the best quote that I saw anywhere late in the week come out of Hill City, Kansas, Hill City Livestock Commission, and your Zach Tran top quote for the day. 64 head, 837 pound steers brought 149.35. And that's your feeder flash for Monday.